Alright, in this video we will finish up the sparring system. So I've set up the windows a little bit different now with the player A on the left and another player on the right, because now we are actually developing some PvP stuff. So what I imagine is that we will have another tab in the battle arena where you can do spars. So a tab up here, and then we have to let the users challenge each other and reject and cancel and all this stuff we implemented in the other videos. So to start off, we open the battle arena in pages. And right now we just have one page with all the stuff that we see here. And I think we will have to refactor this a little bit, probably. So let's just think how we best do this. Probably it'll be something like us defining a new React functional component down here. Let's call it challenge AI, and then React C. I don't know if this needs to take any parameters, but basically all the stuff that we have right now, I want to move down to this one. That means this part. Let's just take everything initially. I move all of this stuff down here. And then let's think if we want all of it. Do we need the user data? Probably. I think we will refactor so that we use the gRPC utils instead of getting this refetch method directly. This we probably need. Then we will get this gRPC utility, which we can use to refetch any query. I like that better. This API use utils, yes. Require in village. I think this one we will keep up in the main page because that is relevant for both spars and AI challenges. The router we still need. AI, all this we still need. This one we need to rewrite then. We need to go utils, profile, get user, validate. So whenever we are attacking, it will invalidate the get user query and basically fetch new user data. And I think actually this content box, I think we will keep that up in the main component. So instead we just do a div here. Same at the bottom. Like this. And then now we can rewrite the main page component. Well, let's see what we need here. Then we don't need the do we need the user data? I don't think we need this. I don't think we need this. We require that the user is in the village. I'm not sure if we need the router. This one we can remove this. All of this goes away. I can call this. This is fine. Guess we can remove this. And then we basically keep the content box because we removed that down there. And then we want to now include the challenge AI. So basically that was just a refactor, just moving everything from within this page, the next page, and down into a component. And that is because I want multiple components now. So I think it's better like this. The router we probably don't need either. Okay, next step is then to get the tabs up here. And I know we can just do a search for a nav tab. Just copy it from somewhere else initially. So we get this one. And that has to go in here, top right corner, something like this. Top right content. Then we need some state. Also just copy this initially. Oh, see something else. This one. Okay, I'll just do this manually, I think. Probably easier. So the state we need here is basically to do a tab and a set tab, and this could be it, but we will call it arena and sparring instead, and we will make the default be null. Like this, and then we can put this down here. And the options will then be, I guess we'll just put them like this. Yep. And we need to import the nav tabs. Nav tabs. And there we go. Now we have this up here. And it starts selecting any of them. Why is this not selected by default? Current is null, but as far as I remember in nav tabs, we need to give it an ID as well. So let's go arena selection. And now when I refresh, it should be selected, and it should also remember my selection. So if I refresh, it's still on the sparring. So that's exactly what I wanted. And then I wanted to do something like this, where we say tab. So we only show this one when we're in the arena and not when we're in the sparring. So now we have these sub pages in a sense. That's fine. We probably need to update the title and subtitle. Let's call it derived values. So we say title, if the tab is equals to arena, then we say just arena, and otherwise we say sparring. We put this title down here. Oh. We'll make a subtitle as well. Fight training and PvP challenges. I'll put this one on here as well. So now the title and subtitle changes when I change these. So that's good as well. And I think that actually covers this first one, at least what I foresee right now. So then we have this component, and let's just go over that one to make sure it's what we expect. So we do everything. I think this one is fine as well, and then we can start implementing the next one. This we probably want at the bottom of the file. Yeah, we of course. So now we need to make a challenge user or something like that. When we do React, blah blah blah, challenge user, and this one we then want to show here. If we are sparring, then we show the challenge user instead. Yeah. So now we will start developing this second page. And I guess quite a bit of stuff has to happen here. We probably need the user data still. Can't imagine we wouldn't need that. Then we need to get the spars, and last time we implemented the endpoint for this. So we'll go queries, and what was it? I think let's just do, we probably need to be able to refetch that as well. Then we do APA, and it was sparring get user challenges, that one. Use query, boom, boom. There we go. Do we need settings on this? I guess here let's say it refetches every 5 seconds to see if you got new challenges and whatnot. That's probably a good idea already at this point. Then I think, so this one returns both things you have challenged others as well as challenges towards you. So I think we will do a split for those. So we'll do a table for challenges sent and a table for challenges received. And then here we'll do render. Yeah, let's just type up everything we need. Then we need a user search. So we have that implemented other places as well. And we probably need a create mutation for creating the challenges. And then I think all the rejection, canceling, and accepting, that will be subcomponents, which we get to within these tables. Does this make sense? I think so. So let's split the data first, maybe, but then just have to think a little bit here. So let's go challenges, send. I will think while writing code. Data, this is optional. Then we do a filter first. So here we want to filter it so we only get the ones where we are the challenger ID. And we can do the same for challenges received, except here it will be the challenged, or we will be the challenged character. Then we basically need to map this to the columns that we want to show. And I think the columns we want to show is who did we challenge, what is the status of the challenge, and then the possible actions that we have. So we'll do something like this. We map it to an object where we need the challenged. And here we probably need, how do we do this? Maybe we'll just mock up these components that we have to write. So user challenge info. And I guess for this one, we just give it the challenged. So we haven't made these components yet. Now everything will start failing, but then we will have to implement these components. Status, I think we also want to make some special component for that so that we can kind of highlight in colors and stuff. So let's call that a status box. Rename this to challenge user info, and then we can make this challenge status box. And this one will just take the status, I think, as an input. So see status. And last we wanted the actions. So this, let's call it challenge actions box, and it will take the entire challenge as well, I think. Oh, I'm just thinking here this should be user, and we'll just do like that. And then this one needs the entire challenge. Oh, see, there we go. Yeah, we will have to implement all of these. Did I make any syntax errors? Missing this closing thing. Okay, it's amazing it's rendering even though none of these exist. So we have to implement these three components. So challenge user info. Let's see if it gets this generic object. No. Here we need an object that has, what did we return? Username, level and rank, I think. Something like this. And then we get the user out. That looks good. This one can go away. Probably good to have a div for all of it. First we do username. Actually, let's just, because it's easier to style these once we have some data there. So we do the next one, challenge status box. Also just return temp. Challenge action box, also just return temp. String. Okay, this, I think this actually has a type, so we should import that. Import. Oh, I cannot remember what that was called. Let's go to constants drizzle. I think this is where we defined it. Challenge state. From drizzle constants. Was this one. And then this one, it took the entire challenge, which I guess we defined in the schema, didn't we? Nope, but we should do that. So let's export the type of user challenge, which is inferred from this one. Then we import that in the battle arena. Import type. Drizzle schema gives us the user challenge, which is the parameter for that one. So now this should have that type. Perfect. Yeah. I think we're all more or less good. Challenge user info. Property challenge does not exist on type. Interesting. Challenged right there. So what is going on there? Challenge does not exist on type. Did I miss an E? There we go. Cool. I wonder if we're on the right track here, but I think so. Basically, we need to do the same for the other table, except here it's the challenger instead. Like that. And then, what now? Not assignable to type username or rank. Oh, the rank has to be one of these, so we need to import that as well. User rank, this type. That was from the constant, so we can do it here. And then we just need to put it on that component. User has to be user rank. Now these should clear. Come on. Let us try restarting TypeScript. Hopefully they clear. Okay, the next thing we do is prepare for showing some tables. We need to show tables with both the challenged users. Why does this still fail? It's declared here on rank is to level is incompatible. Okay. Level is a number. There we go. This should clear the red lines. Yes. Okay, next up we need to import these table components so we can show some tables with who challenged you and who did you challenge. So let's just copy some stuff from the bank here. Oh, these are actually... Yeah, we have two tables. And one will have all the challenges sent and challenges received. We need to import the table component. Probably need to import some other stuff as well. Then we need to make these columns. We will not do this infinite scrolling, so we can remove this part. I think we can already now say we only show this table if we have more than one challenge sent. Something like this. And the same for the other one. And then we need to define these columns, and we have an example of doing that in the bank as well. Let's go to, where do we have columns? Let's just search this one. We copy that. And we need to define the columns for both tables, but let's do the first one. Then we need column definition and array element. This one. And we also need the array element type util. I like having the type out here. Let's do that in the bank as well, now that we're at it. And then array element like this. So basically now we have a list of these, and we do this one to kind of get the type of an element in that array. So let's call it challenge sent. And we can do that for the challenges received as well. Received. So that should just give me the type of whatever we're showing in that table. The challenger, status, and actions, which are all JSX elements. So that's perfect. Then we need to define the columns for the table. And that almost looks right. I think all of these needs to be JSX. Then the first one will be challenged. The second one will be the status. And the last one will be the actions. Like this. And basically the same for the next one. Except here we call it challenger and challenger. Then it needs to be using this type instead. And now everything is figuring. These need to be called different things. So let's call them sent columns and received columns. And now we can put them down here. I don't like that this is going to that many lines. It doesn't look very neat. Let's call it spar send instead. And this one, spar received. Looks a bit better. Cool. So now we think we have the tables ready. So the next thing is to have a search box where you can actually send these challenges. And I know within the bank we also have this search component. So let's just figure out here, what do we need to import? At least this user search select component. We can reuse that. And I think get search validator, that one as well. And then we just search for where we're using this. We need to copy this piece. And then we need to adapt it for our use case here. And I'm lost. This is where we're user search. We are doing a max search of one user. We get a search schema. We need to import the use form, which is this one. And the sort resolver as well. User search schema. And we need to import sort as well. I'm just importing everything that gets redlined right now. See, and what's up with this one? User, all good. So basically, yeah, I think we can just actually put in the component and then I can show what we've just done. Users, so we can just copy this one now. And we will put it probably at the top, I think. User search method. Yeah, so now I can search the other user, select the user, and then we need I don't know why the image is not showing, but then we basically now need to create a button for this as well. Why is the image not showing? Seems like this one is completely locked out or something. Is this one work? This one over here is working. So if I do recruit it, yeah, it gets the everything right. Now it's back. So if I do it this, don't know why this one is not finding the image. That's an issue. Interesting. But this one is finding the image. So maybe let's see if it passes. Maybe it's just my internet. Otherwise, we'll figure out what is going on there. Maybe let's add some texts and stuff here. So you have something like you have the option of directly challenging Ninja from across the continent to spar against you with no consequence to your alliances. So that's the whole point of sparring, that you can PvP against others with no consequence to village reputation or anything like that. You can make it a bit shorter, so it's just 2 lines. Yeah. I'm just thinking, should we, because we will have some tables here, so we actually don't want the padding from this one. We'll remove the padding here, and then I think we need to probably pad this one. Like that. And what do we do with the user search? Probably need to make a div here. Yeah, I think that's the right way. And we add some padding to that as well. And then we need a button. So let's import the button component. I can already feel this is becoming a long video. usually how it is with front end. It's easy, but it takes a long time. Okay, where were we? We need to implement a button somewhere around here, I think. Maybe, yeah. But we only want to show the button if we have a targeted user. We'll do this. And the button, give it an ID saying challenge. We need a color. Let's do green. We need, what else do we need? An image. Let's find that later. Label challenge now. Exclamation mark. What else? Then we need the onClick. And we didn't get that mutation in there yet. So if I search a user now, we get a button for challenging. And let's get an icon for that as well. Do we have any icons here? Nope. I'll get it from here. Icon, and I'm thinking something like a bold icon. Let's try that. Yeah, exactly like that. Probably needs to be solid. That looks a little bit better. Needs a little bit of margins to the right. Maybe just one. Cool. And then we need to get the mutation. Let's copy a mutation from here and then adapt it. So our mutation was in sparring, and then it was create challenge, I think. Seems to be the right one. We'll call it create. Do we need the, we don't need to rename that one. We probably need to show loaders here. So if we are loading, also if we don't have any user data, yeah, we just show the loading states. This is good. What happens on success? This one we just call error, and then on success we say success, challenge sent. And what do we have to do other than that? We probably need to refetch all the challenges, but we have that one here. So we're just refetching all the challenge and challenge, like received and sent challenges from this user. And I think we also need to probably remove this selected user so we don't accidentally send more. Just do that like this. So now we reset whatever is in this user search box. So this one we can use down here now. I think we need to do that. And probably we need to challenge the ID. Was that okay, what's going on? Go to see this endpoint. It's the target ID we need to give it. So here it's target ID. Target user is correct. I think this is it. So now if I search for the other user, push challenge, it says the challenge was sent. Loading, really slow. And nothing pops up. So maybe things didn't quite work as expected. it's giving me a lot of errors on. Oh, interesting what to say. Invalid argument. That is created. So we have bugs. I guess that's in this router. So let's see. We'll open this one. We'll put it down at the bottom. Clear everything. Okay, it's still giving me errors. On the get user challenges, it's getting errors. Interesting. What's illegal mix of collations? This is a super annoying bug. So we're on dev here. I think it's because these fields have a wrong collation. I thought I fixed that last time. Okay, now it works. So maybe it just didn't save it. Because basically the collation of these fields, let me just open that again, of the challenger ID and the challenged ID, they have to be the same collation as the user ID on the user data table. So I just changed those to match, and then it seems to work. And here we just pop up with temp, which is expected because this is what we implemented so far. Let's finish up this one first, and then we just basically need to import or implement those 3 components, and then we should be done. So do we need more on this component? We have the 2 tables, we have this, and then they include all the components within the tables. This one should also, yeah, so this one shows challenger and this one shows challenged. And if I go here and do recruited, so we also send a challenge the other way, that works, and it updates over here. And I think it's fine, they don't have any spacing between them. Otherwise, that's up for fixing later. Cool. Let's minimize this, and then we just need to implement these 3 components. And then we need to start testing sparring to make sure it actually works as well. So there's quite a bit to do still. Let's start with just the user challenge, user information thing. So this one, let's say we have the div, we do first the username. So something like, just like this. That did not work. Objects are not valid. User. This looks wrong. No, this looks right, because for Terrier, the challenged and the challenger are recruited, and yeah, so this is right. But let's maybe make this one what should do, font bold or something like that. And we want the rank and level beneath, so we do level user level user rank, and then we need to capitalize the first letter. I have a method for that. Let's just import capitalize first letter. Let's find it again. This one. And then it looks right. Should we center this? No, I think it looks fine. I want to take these 3 components and put them to the bottom, so we kind of have the challenge AI, challenge user, and then the extra components at the very bottom. And maybe I want to have the challenge AI first as well, just so the ordering is consistent. So we have the main page, challenge AI, challenge user, we exported arena, and then we have these accessory components or whatever at the bottom. So that's the first column. Now we go to the status bar column. Here, my idea was to make kind of this colored box thing. So I guess we can, let's do something like a switch on the status and case pending. We return a div with pending, and then we just want to style this, so we'll go class name, I don't know, BG Amber 300, some padding, some rounding, and nothing is showing up. Okay, now all the challenges expired, so we'll make new ones. Okay, perfect. No, it doesn't look very good. I'm not good with design. Let's do a border as well. And the border needs some colors, so border amber 400. Let's also put the text in amber maybe, and even darker. And then do a bold font. That's probably as good as I can make it. Then let's do accepted, yeah. Green. Maybe it's fine to just reject it in red. Yeah. Nope, we need a cancelled in. I think the cancelled can just be some kind of gray slate thing. Cool, and we'll inspect all these colors once we start implementing the actions. So I think for now that's it for this component, and then we just need the action component. That's probably the most difficult one. So for that one, I think we're not gonna get around wanting the user data here. So that's the first we do this data from database. We need the router as well, because we need to be able to redirect to combat. Probably we need the gRPC utils as well. So we'll copy these in. And then we need all the mutations for all the buttons we are going to make. So where did we have a mutation? Let's see here. Sparring, accept challenge. It's not totally wrong, but also not totally good, because I think this one, we had these base responses, so we get a response with a success. So we gotta do if data success. Then we do one thing. Otherwise, we need to show that error as well. And I'm sure I will make some convenience to clean all this up at some point across the entire code base, but it's not right now. So when we have accepted, we basically go to battle. That means it's fair to invalidate this, but we should also invalidate the get user so that we fetch new user information. And we need to push to combat. And I think we can give a message here as well, saying just challenge accepted. We'll do success here. So that's one endpoint. Then we have one for reject and one for cancel as well. If Copilot can finish this one. I think this is the right endpoint at least. Reject is rejecting. If success, then we refetch all the challenges. Say it's rejected. It's correct. And then one more for cancel. And I'm almost sure it manages to get that one as well. If we cancel, we do pretty much the same thing. We refetch all the challenges and do nothing else. Then we can do some derived features. One for is loading for sure, which is just either one of those 3 mutations going. Well, I don't know if we need more. But if we are loading, just show a loader with an explanation. And then we want to show some buttons for all this stuff. So let's just think here. Basically, if the challenge, do we have the, is that the name? Yes, if the challenge status is pending, that's the only scenario where we actually do something. And if we're not in that scenario, we just return null and don't show any buttons. Okay, so the buttons we have to show. Let's see if Copilot gets this. So if we are the challenger, then we show a cancel button. That's actually not dumb. It has to be red, a label. I think these need to be small, so we'll remove this. On click is cancel, and is this the right parameter? Accept has a parameter of challenge ID, challenge ID, challenge ID. That's the parameter for all of them. Perfect. I think this is actually not bad. But we will do images instead of text here. So let's just import some more images. I imagine we will have a something like a check icon, a what's called X mark. I think that's the one. And a trash icon for deleting. Let's put these 3 in there. So for cancel, it's the trash icon, exactly. For accepting, it's the check icon. And rejecting is the X mark icon. I think for the case here where we have the accept or reject, we want to show them next to each other. So we'll do a div instead of what Copilot wanted, and then we'll do class name flex row. Let's see how this works. Let's create a new challenge. The ones we had are expired. So we wanted to remove the labels on these 2 as well. Primary reason for that is if we go small, it still needs to work out. Do like this. Then we can see how well it works. A very small screen. Let's send one the other way as well, so we can see how it looks with multiple. I think usually the smallest screen is right around here, so that works out okay. That works out okay. Cool. And these 2 are not aligned, but I guess that's fine. That's okay for now at least. Let's try clearing one. That seems to have worked. Did it clear over here as well. Perfect. Then we can reject this one. That also worked. Awesome. I wonder if we're done now, and the next step is actually trying to accept. I think so. Let's see. Oh, I can't challenge myself. Recruit. We send one. And this is always interesting. This will work. So at least this one goes to combat, and this challenge accepted, challenge sent. This one got a notification for combat as well. So it seems like at least we're almost there. I'm sure there are some, probably we need to clear rewards from when you win. And I also think when we accepted the spar, I'm not sure this guy over here got a toast message saying that the spar was accepted. Also, we need to react on these WebSockets when I send a challenge, that you get a notification that you were challenged. There's a few things left. Let's just try to see what happens if someone wins this. This guy hits that one. Smash each other. Seems like it's a little bit out of sync. That's not good. I deselect because I refreshed, of course. This is not good that they are this much out of sync. I will have to figure out why that is. If I clear here, this guy over here should get refreshed. Is it because the WebSocket connection? Because sometimes when you develop locally, the WebSocket connection gets unplugged or whatever. Yeah, I should not get money and experience points, and this guy should get a nicer end result as well. This was not super good. Not super good. Need to figure out how to solve that. But was anyone hospitalized as well? I don't know if I just clicked past that. Maybe I did. Okay, let's first make it so that you do not get rewards from spars, because I know that is the case. Go to utils. I think there's somewhere where we do a reward scaling calc-based battle result. Yeah, this one. So we need to do a few things here. I think this whole part is where you get it gets you the stat boosts from a combat, and we basically don't want to execute that if battle type is sparring. So we'll execute this in all cases where it's not sparring. That should get rid of any stat gains from spars. Things to X reward non-spars. And money as well, I saw here. We need to go money stolen, given, whatever. We do result money equals to this, and then we set the default to 0. I think this will remove any wondering because there's also, we also don't want people to get hospitalized, where we should do that. I think that's in database. This is the method being executed after a battle where it says if current health is believed, but it's already doing if not sparring. So yeah, this should be all good. So that's why I didn't click a hospital button. Perfect. But this should be good. Let's just try a battle more. So let's send a challenge to recruit. Accepted. You get a challenge sent, you get a challenge accepted, but you never got the challenge received notification. Now we wait this, and it seems like they're in sync. Let's refresh to make sure WebSockets is all good. See if we have as messy an experience as before, or if it was just the WebSockets being disconnected. Now they seem pretty synced actually. If I hit here, yeah, it goes immediately. Maybe, I hope it was just the WebSockets being unsynced because of local development. Because when I update code, those socket connections, they get messed up sometimes. Boom. One lost, but no hospital, no experience points. Why did he get 8 experience points for losing? This one. Do we want to get experience points for spars? I don't think so. It's probably too easy to spam and cheat, isn't it? Otherwise, we'll change it later. Experience, and then we set it to 0 by default. It should not be 0 by default, it should be 0.1. 0.01. Yeah. And now because I updated the code, this looks weird, but that's how it is. I think the last thing we need to do is actually then now push these notifications that you received a challenge so that you know when you have been challenged. And we are, as far as I remember in this one, we're already firing off the events. Yeah. So we just need to listen to those, and we do that in a very non-intuitive place. We need to update that as well to be somewhere, but everything will get a major refactor at some point. Where is it? So in the layout, we're setting up, this layout component is setting up the, getting the user and putting it into context for the entire layout and stuff like this. And coincidentally, this is where we set up this pusher thing as well, which is listening to battle notifications and new inbox notifications right now. And it needs to listen to a few more. So we want to listen to 3 more, I think. And those are this challenged event. We want to listen to the spar accepted event and the it. I guess that's it. Yeah, but that's also fine. No. So what I was thinking, maybe we want the notification on rejection as well, which I think we should have. So here, when we reject a challenge, we send a notification to the challenger saying challenge are rejected. Let's call this one spar created. Challenge created. Then challenge accepted. Challenge rejected. Just to have it a little bit more consistent. And we do challenge rejected. Challenge accepted. And the last one was challenge created. Okay, and here we want to show some toast messages. So on challenge created, we show, oh, let's think, what's it saying here? I don't think we want this. We actually probably rather want a link saying, linking to the battle arena saying, you have been challenged. Something like that. And if we accept it, then we want a link to the combat. Your challenge has been accepted. And the last one, rejected. Just a notification. This, and they're all info statements. I think that's fine. Maybe rejected could be an error, so it goes in red. You have been challenged in info. Success. Something like that. Let's see if then we need to refresh to make sure the WebSockets are connected. And we send a challenge from this guy to the other one. It got fired, but I have mistyped all these. Let's try again. So let's send one from the right one to the left one. You have been challenged. Then we reject that challenge. Your challenge has been rejected. Seems to be going well. All right, and then let's see. If I accept this one, let's see if this one gets notified over here. Your challenge has been accepted. And there's a link and it goes here. Perfect. I think that's actually it for this entire feature. That took a little bit, but I will commit this stuff, maybe go over all those changes and test a little bit more, and then commit and push, and then it should be live a few minutes after that. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.